everyone and welcome to the Kiki London YouTube channel. My name is Amanda and in today's video we are gonna look at how to apply nail foils and create a really fun mermaid beachy nail art design. So I really hope you all enjoy watching. I did recently have a comment asking for more videos using foils and decals, and we did some with decals, so I thought today we would do foils. So starting off, whenever you're doing your nails, you're going to do all your prep and base coat first of all, and then you're going to come in and apply your chosen gel polish color. So I've gone for the beautiful purple rain here because we're going for a bit of a mermaidy vibe. I wanted lots of pinks and blues and purples. So on this now, we're going to be doing a full cover foil design, so a full foil nail design. So I'm going to take 2 coats of my purple rain. Now, depending on the foil you're using, you want to think about this when you're selecting your gel polish color. So I'm using a silver mermaid foil, so I can put any color underneath, so that's why I've chosen purple rain. Then we're going to come in and apply our foil gel, and then these are the beautiful foils that we're going to be using. I just love the holographic effect on these 2 designs, but obviously we went for the mermaid one because we're doing a mermaid nail design. So you're going to want to take your nail foil and you're just going to want to cut off a piece that's big enough for the nail that you're going to be working on. So I needed quite a large bit obviously for a full long nail. Then we're going to come in and apply a thin coat of the foil gel to the entire nail. You want to keep this nice and thin, nice and even, but do make sure you're getting right along the sides of that. Then we're going to pop this in to cure for 30 seconds. So here you can see I've got my piece of foil cut, and I'm also going to be using my Kiki London silicone tool. This is a must-have for getting out any stubborn creases that are on your foil after you've applied it. So we're going to start off by popping down our foil on that cured foil gel. So once the foil gel has cured, it leaves a super tacky finish, and this really grabs on to your foil. Now I use a combination of my thumb and fingers to rub out my foil, and then I'll come in with my silicone tool over any creases because it's a little bit more softer and it's just going to ease those creases out nicely. And then I come in again and just make sure I'm getting right along those side walls before we slowly pull off that foil. And as you can see, it's transferred beautifully. So if you pull it off slowly, this means that if it hasn't fully transferred, you can lay it back down and then pull off again. Now to finish off this particular foil, now we are going to finish off with some crystals, just a little cluster up in the corner, because I felt as though it would really work with that full mermaid look that we've got on this now. So first of all, we're going to come in with the No Wipe rubber top coat. This is going to work as a top coat and seal in our foils. But before we pop it into cure, we are going to place our crystals down into the wet No Wipe rubber top coat. The No Wipe rubber top coat is brilliant for applying your crystals because it's that a little bit thicker than the regular No Wipe top coat. Your crystals kind of sink into it ever slightly, and then this holds them in place and keeps them on for the duration of the set. So I've got a couple of the Kiki London crystals here, and then I've got some little beachy embellishments and some caviar beads, and I'm kind of just going for that bit of kind of like treasure look to the nail because I wanted the whole beach vibe to be in there with the mermaid nails. So using one end of the gem tool, the waxy end, of the gem tool, you're going to be able to pick up your crystals, your embellishments, your caviar beads, and then with the dotting tool end, you're able to nudge them around and get them to where you want them to be on the nail. And this is why it's brilliant to use the No Wipe rubber top coat, because whilst it's still wet, you can just move those crystals around as much as you want. So you haven't got to worry about glue, for example, drying too quickly and not being happy with how your crystals are placed. Once you are happy with how they're placed, you're going to pop this in to cure for 60 seconds. And that is this nail design finished. I loved that mix of the silver holographic from the foil and then the mix of the different color crystals. On to the second nail, we're going to be doing an ombre with our foils. So I'm going to be starting off with a base of classic white. So I'm going to come in and do 1 coat of this and pop it into cure. And the reason I went for classic white is because the foil that we're going to be using has a blue and white marble to it. So this is what I mentioned in the first nail about picking a gel polish color that's going to work with your foil. So here, for example, I would have gone with either a white or a blue base. That way, if there's any imperfections when I apply my foil, they are going to not be very noticeable because you've got a matte matching gel polish colour underneath. So wherever possible, try and team up your gel polish shade with your foil as a close match as possible, unless it's a design like the first nail where any colour is going to work underneath. So on this now, like I said, we're going to be doing an ombre, so I want to make sure that I'm applying only the foil to half of the nail. So I'm placing that down halfway on the nail and then just rubbing and really working it into that tacky foil gel exactly the same as we did on the first nail. I've just simply not applied it to the entire nail. Slowly peeling it back, and I noticed one side hadn't fully applied, so I'm just giving it another rub, and then you can see that has applied perfectly. Now on this nail, I want to have a beachy wave look. It's kind of like how the waves are crashing over the sand. So we've got that wave effect with the foil, and now we're going to create our sand using Kiki London's True Nude. So this is another one from the Hema Free range, the same as Classic White. So because I want to ombre this colour over the foil, I'm going to come in with the Hema Free top coat on the foil side, and then obviously we've got the True Nude down at the cuticle and nail bed side, and then I'm going to take my ombre brush and just blend the True Nude and the top coat together. This is gonna create a more transparent look in that center part of the nail. So it's going to blend over the foil. It's going to get rid of that harsh line where the foil is underneath the True Nude, and I really loved how this blended out and it gave that sandy vibe. These foils are really pretty, these marble ones, and you can kind of improvise and work with them in different ways. Now to finish this design off, I wanted to bring that wavy look into the nail a little bit more. So I'm going to come over the top of this with a layer of blooming gel. Now with your blooming gel, you want to leave this wet, so we're going to apply a thin coat to the entire nail. And then on my Kiki London palette, I'm just going to take a little bit of that Classic White again. And then because obviously in the blue and white marble, we have white. So we're going to take the white and we're going to dot this down onto where the foil and the True Nude meet. And then we're just going to create a little marbled effect going over the top where that blend is, just to kind of add that extra dimension and look. And I really loved how this nail turned out. I've done a couple of beachy nail designs over the years, but I haven't done it this way with foils and blooming gel, I don't believe. So it was really fun to create a similar design to what I've done before, but using different techniques. And I love how you can incorporate foils into lots of your different nail designs. Once again, we're going to come in and seal this in with the No White rubber top coat. I opted for the rubber top coat whenever I'm working with foils or nail art because it's that little bit thicker. It seals everything in beautifully. And with that, I mean that because it's that little bit thicker, it smooths out any unevenness that you might have created when you are working with blooming gel or when you're working with decals, things like that, that leave that ever so slight ridge on the nail. And then also, because it's a rubber top coat, I find that it's brilliant to help minimize any chipping or lifting of the foils or water decals from the nail. It just gives that extra layer of durability to the nail set and design. So on to the third nail, we're not going to be using foils in this one, but we do use foils in one more. So what I'm going to do here is I'm coming in with 2 coats of one of the new rubber colour bases. This is RB12, and as you can see, it's a gorgeous nude colour with those gold flake pieces. So I felt as though because you've got the nude colour, it kind of works as a sandy look, and then we've got those gold flake pieces, kind of give off that little bit of effect of like when the sun is shining on the sand and you get those little glistening looks. I really loved this vibe with this nail as well. I just thought it worked really pretty in the design. Now I am going to come in and come over this with the No White rubber top coat because I want a super smooth finish, and where this has got those gold flake pieces in there, again, it can leave a little bit of an unevenness to the nail. So by using the No White rubber top coat, you get a super smooth finish. And then we're going to be doing a French tip on this nail. So I'm taking Classic White to begin with, and then of course if I'm doing a French, I'm going to use the Kiki London French brush because this makes French nails so much easier. So I'm going to load up my brush. I'm going to press down on one side of the nail, flip the brush over and press down on the other side of the nail, keeping the brush nice and flat to the nail tip. This is going to help you get a nice even coat of gel polish. And then using that long tail end of the brush, I'm going to drag the wings of my smile line down just to get a more deeper smile line. Now obviously, depending on the look that you want with your smile line, you can play around with this brush and create different effects. You can create quite dramatic deep smile lines like I have done here, but then you can also create quite nice short natural ones with it too, which works well on shorter natural nails. And then before I pop this in to cure, I'm just going to take my angled nail art brush with a little bit of alcohol on it just to clean up ever so slightly to get a super crisp, sharp edge to that French tip. So we pop this in to cure for 30 seconds, and then rather than coming in with a second coat of classic white, I'm going to come in with Moonlight Pearl. So this is a soft white pearlescent effect gel polish. It kind of mimics what chrome powder looks like a little bit, but with a little bit more coverage. So I love putting this over a white if you want a pearlescent effect nail, but it also works brilliantly over any color to create that chromy pearlescent effect. Here you can see over the white, it just makes the white gel polish have that beautiful shimmer, which of course gave me like shell vibes, so worked with our sandy looking nail bed. Now I am going to do 2 coats of this over the top, so I'm keeping each coat super thin just because I want to make sure that a lot of that shimmery effect is coming through. And obviously we are working over quite an opaque base because of those gold flake pieces, so I just wanted to make sure that you couldn't see any of those through that French tip. So once we've done our 2 coats of that and pop that in to cure for 30 seconds, we're going to come in with that no wipe rubber top coat again and seal the entire nail in. So when you are doing these layered nail art designs, you want to make sure that you're keeping your layers nice and thin, just so that you don't end up with a too bulky nail. Now you don't have to stress too much about this when you're working on longer nails, but it's definitely something to bear in mind when you're working on shorter nails. And then that is this nail finished. I loved the combination of the nude and gold with the touch of white. Now on to the 4th nail, we're going to do a 3-color ombre. So I'm using Holiday Blues, Chick Flick, and then Silver Shrine. Again, this is another color that has a really pretty effect to it. It's a silver gel polish, but it kind of has a hint of pink that shimmers and glistens in it. It's a really unique one. These are Silver Shrine and Moonlight Pearl. They are 2 of my absolute favorite colors from Kiki London because they are just so unique. I've never come across anything like those before. So for our 3-color ombre, I'm popping all 3 colors down on to the nail, and then of course we're going to take the trusty ombre brush and blend those together. Here you will see that I take one of the Kiki London alcohol pads and I'm just popping this down next to me so that I've got something I can wipe my brush on, because when you are doing a 3-color or even a 2-color ombre, you're going to get a lot of product on your brush. So you want to make sure you're wiping it off quite regular so that you're not taking a color into a color that you don't want it to go into, or muddying up your colors too much. So I always like to have one of the alcohol wipes to hand just to clean off my brush so that I'm not, for example, going to take any of the Silver Shrine into the Holiday Blues. Don't stress too much about creating a perfect ombre on your first coat, because you will perfect the blend on your second coat. So here you can see here we're coming in with those 3 colors again, and I placed them a little bit lower down because I wanted the Silver Shrine to shine through on this nail a little bit more. So I'm pushing it up into the Chick Flick, but just be very careful that you don't contaminate your bottle brush. And then again we're going to take our ombre brush, blend as much as you can. These colors actually blend together really effortlessly. I've probably said it a lot, but I find the Kiki London colors, a lot of them have a creamy consistency, and if you're working with 2 colors with a creamy consistency, they blend effortlessly. And then the same goes for any color that has a shimmer or a glitter effect to it. It's going to blend effortlessly. So these colors all blended out really easily. As you can see here, there are a few brush strokes, so I always leave the nail to sit for a few seconds just to let them settle out before I pop it into cure for 30 seconds. And then we're going to come in again on this nail with the no wipe rubber top coat, but we are going to be applying a few crystals again to this nail, just because if I apply crystals in one nail, I will, and I'm doing 5 nails, I will try and pop them on another nail just so the set flows. So we're not popping this into cure just yet. We've got our Kiki London crystals here. Now these come in 5 sizes, so when you buy your pack, your sizes of crystals are separated. I have mixed them together. This is just personal preference, but I find it easier to have them mixed together because a lot of the time I will use several sizes in a set. So again, we're just picking them up with the waxy end and placing them down on the nail, and then I'm going to use the dotting tool end to nudge them into place. And I don't really know what I was doing with this placement here. I kind of wanted to go for a necklace effect, but then I did it the other way around, and it works, because depending on what way you're looking at the nail, it's going to have the necklace effect. But I just wanted some jewels on there because I just was loving the sparkles for this set of nails. So again, once we're happy with how they're placed, it's a really simple design, so it's not too much effort. Depending on how confident you are with crystals, you can create some amazing designs. They are just that little bit time consuming, so sometimes it's hard to squeeze them into a video. But if you would like to see more crystal sets, do let me know in the comments below. So once again, we're going to pop that into cure for 60 seconds because the rubber top coat does require a 60-second cure, which is something to bear in mind because a lot of the Kiki products only require a 30-second cure. I think this would have looked really pretty with a matte base as well, but I kept all of these nails glossy. So on to the last nail, we will be finishing off with some more foil art. So I've already done my base of True Nude, so we've got 2 coats of True Nude down on this nail, and then I'm going to take the foil gel and we're just going to apply this to half of the nail because again we're only applying our foil to half of the nail. So if you feel like it's going to create any unevenness, you can apply your foil gel to the entire nail, but I was going to be coming in with a marble over the top of this one, so I didn't stress about applying the foil to the entire nail. So again, we're going to take that Mermaid foil that we used on the first nail. I've cut a small piece off and I'm just placing this down where I've applied my foil gel, giving it a good rub with the silicone tool. The time you spend here is really beneficial, so don't worry if you're taking a while to really give the foil a good rub, because that's what transfers it on to your foil gel. So you can do a pressing motion with certain foils, but if you're going for a full cover look, we're going to go with a rubbing motion because it will work a little bit better. If you do find any areas haven't fully transferred on, you can come in with your foil and press it down because sometimes that technique will work a little bit better as well. If you have any foil questions or any nail art questions at all, please do leave them in the comments below and I'll be happy to help. If I can't always help in a comment, I will try and do a video on it as well, so don't be afraid to reach out and ask for any help if it's needed. So on this now, we are going to finish up with a marble blending over our foil. So I'm taking all 4 colours that we've used in the design. So we've got Purple Rain, Silver Shrine, Holiday Blues and Chick Flick. These 3 colours, so the purple, the blue and the pink, they are from the Pastel Neon collection, which is a beautiful collection, by the way. If you haven't checked that one out, I would highly recommend it. So I've marbled those colours together on my palette, and then I'm going to pick up the colours using my round nail art brush and just lay them down into that uncured blooming gel. And what this is going to do, the blooming gel is going to help pull the colour off of your brush, but then it's going to help those colours marble and bloom out. So this is going to create a really diffused look over that foil, rather than being a harsh line where the marble starts and the foil finishes. It's going to bloom out and create a really pretty effect, which again, this just gives full-on mermaid vibe, so I absolutely loved it. Once you are happy with how much it's bloomed, you're going to pop that into cure for 30 seconds, and then of course we're going to finish off again with the no white rubber top coat, just because we're working with a lot of nail art heavy designs. You guys know how much I love the no white rubber top coat. So we're just going to apply a thin coat of this. If it does look a little bit uneven, you can hold the nail upside down for a few seconds and this will help it self level quicker, and then just pop that in to cure for 60 seconds. And that, guys, is the end of today's design. Let me know what you thought of this set in the comments below. As always, all the products will be linked in the description box below. If you enjoyed today's video, please do give it a thumbs up and leave us a comment below. And if you haven't already hit that subscription button, please do. I upload videos every single Friday. I hope you all have a wonderful weekend. Lots of love. Take care. Bye bye.